Okay, so you guys are probably saying another picanha. I know it's like my third picanha in a row. I was at Costco the other day and they had a 2-pack of picanhas, and I sort of like that guy on the TV commercial, the pizza. Well, we got picanha. So I was watching a YouTube video the other day of a guy that did a picanha like a brisket. So I thought, wow, I'm going to try that out. But what if I don't like it? So this double picanha is going to work out great because I'm going to do one the way I like to do it and one the new way to see how it turns out. So what I've done here is I've trimmed the fat cap off of the one I do normally because the fat cap on these picanhas is so hard. It's really, it doesn't render down. So I cut it off, the first one. And the second one, since I'm going to do it like a brisket, I'm going to leave some of it on. I've trimmed it down quite a bit, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll render down some, maybe it'll soften up a little bit since we're going to go a little bit longer. So next thing you got to do is add the rub. All right, so I'm going to use my favorite rub here from the Grill Your Ass Off guys. It's called gunpowder. Who would have thought? Anyway, I'm going to hit both of the pieces of meat with the same rub because it's my favorite. So got to kind of hit this kind of liberally. They say to do it, I heard Matt Pittman says you got to hold it about 2 feet up. But, my wife is the one who's doing the videoing right now. And if I get it all over the counter, she might say something. So I get a little closer just so I don't make as much of a mess. But, pretty liberal covering, both sides, of course. And, once we get this on, we're going to let the meat sweat in, or the rub sweat in, and get these things out on the smoker. All right, we're getting ready to put the picanhas on the smoker. It's Halloween, so my wife's got her Halloween decorations outside. I'm sure she wants to show them off a little bit. But happy Halloween, everybody. Be safe. All right, we're going to put the picanhas on our Traeger Timberline 850. I've set the grill for 225, and I've got my Inkbird Meat Pros. I'm going to put them on, and we'll go from there. First, I'm going to put on the one we're going to do like a brisket. I'm going to do it fat side up, just like we would do kind of with any brisket. Let me get this Meat Pro kind of poked into the fat part of the piece of meat. Slide that back. Now the regular picanha, doesn't matter which side because there's no fat on it. Get that put in. Let's get our meat probe in. All right, here we go. Now we'll let it run and see what happens. All right, so we got the first picanha off the smoker, ran it up to 135 degrees, and pulled it off and put it in a cooler. I wrapped it in butcher paper and put it in a cooler and let it sit for about an hour. So getting ready to slice this thing. Other one's still sitting outside. I'm waiting for it to get to 165. I'm gonna wrap it with butcher paper and then put it back on until it gets to 205, kind of brisket-like. Look at all the moisture in this thing. Look at that piece of meat. Looks like a little meteorite. Nice charcoal black. Alright, so let's get to slicing this thing. So you want to slice on the diagonal. The grain is actually going this way. So get a couple pieces in here. Looking pretty good. But I see the temperature a little better than I can. I normally like to use a piece of prime when I do the picanhas. The 2-pack at Costco was choice. I hadn't had a choice picanha yet, so hopefully it'll turn out good. I'm going to slice it kind of thin if I can, so it'll make it even easier. All right, let's take a look at that. Nice, a little bit over medium rare. I'd like to be a little less cooked, but it's okay. Kind of perfect the way it goes there, and pulls apart nicely. All right, I tell you, nothing better than a picanha. It's as tender as a fillet and as tasty as a ribeye. I will eat these all day long. So probably not the last picanha video you're going to see from me. I'll be back with you in a little bit with the brisket style picanha, probably in another hour or so. It's kind of on the stall right now, so stay tuned. All right, well, we are done with the smoke with the two picanhas. Every time you smoke something, you learn something new. I mean, I learned something that I didn't expect. I had a big stall on that second picanha when I got it out there. I wrapped it at 165, and man, that thing just shut down. And for about 2.5, 3 hours, it didn't move at all. It broke through finally. When it broke through that tiny little piece of meat, only about 3 pounds, man, it rocketed back up to 202 pretty quickly. It was probed tender, pulled it off, put it in the cooler, and I'm gonna let it sit in the cooler for about 2 hours before I slice it. And of course, you probably noticed it was daytime when I started this thing. It's dark now and pretty late, so I am not going to do the slicing of the meat on film. I'll take a few pictures of it when I do it. I don't want to wake anybody else up tonight, so I'll take some pictures and do a little taste test and let you know in the comments how it turned out. So first one, as you saw, man, it was just outstanding. Really good tasting piece of meat. I'll be interested to see how this goes. Should be interesting. Like I said, it should be interesting. Anyway, it was a good test, and I'm looking forward to see what the results are like. Hopefully I won't have to throw this thing in the trash and be able to have a little bit of meat left over for the rest of the week. Anyway, have a good night, and thanks for tuning in.